So hi guys, we have Mr. Lindsay here, who is the global general manager at Beifang Automotive Education Group. Pleasure meeting Lindsay.
Pleasure meeting you.
And as you know, we were having a very interesting conversation on what your organization or training institute is into, and you've got amazing setup here. The kind of technologies you train the students on. I would love you to brief us on it. And should we start with the battery? Testing or training setup.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Anirudh. Nice to meet you. It's my great pleasure to meet with Anirudh as well as our friends from India to introduce you about Beifang. So Beifang Automotive Education Group was founded in 1993, and for the past 30 years, we have focused on one mission and one mission only, and that is to train quality auto professionals for a greener and a smarter future. And the core technologies that we train our technicians from are new energy vehicles, which includes EVs as well as hybrids. Right. So this, for example, this is a Tesla, it's a training platform for the Tesla Model S. Okay. So it's actually one of the more popular EV brands, both in China as well as all around the world. So this is actually, this is the battery systems for the Tesla Model S. So inside are the battery packs. Over here, we have the battery control modules over here, and the motors are over there. So the whole section is interconnected together, and they function coordinatedly. That way, our students and mechanics can have a very direct and intuitive way of learning where each of the components are, as well as identify faults. These orange lines are essentially the power lines. Okay. When this platform is turned on, it will show how the electricity flows from one system to another. Amazing. So that this will allow our students to have a very direct way of seeing,
like a visual way of seeing how electricity
flows. How it actually functions.
Right.
Over here we have the panels. So that panel is for the fault simulation. Okay. So our instructors could simulate faults within the platform system by installing each individual pins inside the platform. So that this way our instructors can essentially customize their training programs based on the platforms that we have here. So this is a Tesla Model S. It's actually one of our best-selling platforms because everybody wants to learn how Tesla makes their own cars. Right. And over here, we have a wall-mounted teaching equipment that is also from Tesla Model S's as well. So these wall-mounted platforms, they are more intuitive. They also, the breakdown of each individual systems are also more precise. And the best thing about the wall-mounted training platforms is that because we know a lot of our customers, a lot of our schools, they don't have like a big classroom to fit like a big machine like this, but they still want their students to have a very direct and intuitive way of learning. They will purchase the wall-mounted platform. It saves a lot of space.
Right. And it's also more like a blackboard.
Yes.
On which you learn.
Yeah, like a blackboard, and the instructors can pin, to point to where each of the systems are going through. And over here, as you can see, we have the air suspension as well as the suspension of the system. And it also goes to show how the electricity flows from the batteries to its battery management systems, as well as to how it flows to power the motor as well. So inside the motor, so this is where actually this is where the magic happens. Right. We actually remove its external chassis. Without its removal, it almost looks like this. Yeah, it looks like this, yeah. So if we take the white parts out, white shell out.
This is how it looks from inside.
Yes, that's how it looks from the inside. So our students can see exactly which gears are turning. And this is the rotor. This is the rotor of, also known as the heart of the electric motor, because within, if we had this shelling around it, it will create a magnetic field to spin the motor and to power the car. And this is why electric mobility, especially EV vehicles, they have no torque. They have instant response, no torque, and they can drive very, very fast, all thanks to this. Yeah. Right. So over here, this is the traditional combustion engine, it's boring. But over here, we also have some of our best-selling platforms for electric mobility training. So this model is from the BYD chain. Okay. So BYD chain is actually one of the most popular EV sedan here in China. It has very good range, and it's very also it's also very affordable as well.
Okay.
So it's a favorite vehicle by taxi drivers.
Okay.
and for this platform, we have essentially taken a whole entire car, a BYD Qing car, and divided into four to six different categories.
Okay.
For example, this category, it primarily trains on the electric power steering system.
Right.
So it teaches about the steering systems of this car. This one over here would focus on the air conditioning system.
Okay.
That one is the electronics, and over there we have the motors. Motors as well as the engines.
Okay.
So this way, having like a modular training platforms is very convenient for all of our schools,
Right.
because you can have like different classes
Right.
studying on the same platform simultaneously.
Right.
So all of these platforms, they're all interconnected. If you, for example, turn this car on, you could see if you like switch the blinkers,
Oh, okay.
the blinkers lights will turn on.
Right.
If you put on the gas, the engine would roar, and the air conditioner would take in oxygen as well.
Right.
So that way you can
At an
essentially
individual level, students can learn how each component or
Yes.
each segment works.
exactly
When
exactly.
something is triggered.
Yes.
Right.
So usually like a school, they can just purchase one set of these modular training platforms. It can cover almost all of their training needs.
Right.
Yes. And over here, let's see. Over there, we can have something
Yeah.
like the BYD. Oh. Over here, well, apart from training our EV mechanics, we also train them on how to fix EV charging stations
Correct.
as well. Because a lot of our mechanics, after they graduate, if they don't want to fix cars, they can go fix infrastructures,
Right.
which are still a very high-paying profession, both here in China as well as around the world.
Right.
Right now, there's close to, by the end of 2024, there are over 60 million EVs on the road
Right.
around the whole globe, but not many people that know how to fix them. So if you become an EV mechanic, if you follow EV news, become an EV mechanic, you can actually make a very lucrative career.
Right, and even there is a need for a skill, which is meant specially to rectify the chargers, because the charging infra
Yes.
is facing a lot of issues in terms of maintaining the chargers, and
Yes.
keeping it up and running.
Yes. For example, a lot of these chargers right here, they are primarily for training purposes, right?
Right.
But right now, we know that EV vehicles, they get a lot of headlines, but EV charging technology are
Right.
also moving very fast.
Right.
For example, last week, BYD actually announced their supercharging charging ports.
Right.
That's like a model that's like a shape of a T.
Ah.
And that charging station can charge up to 150 amps. So it's a very, very fast
Right.
charging station. And it can charge a second generation blade battery from 10% to 97% in less than 10 minutes.
Oh wow!
So the charging station are also very important, and they're also very important for the national grid,
Right.
because they draw power from the
Right.
national grid to charge
Right.
the EVs.
Right.
Sometimes if you have a very powerful EV charging station, it can like black out the entire neighborhood
Right.
if you don't take care of it properly.
Correct.
So people, and as well as companies, governments, they pay a lot of money for electricians that can also fix these charging stations as
Correct.
well.
Correct.
So over here, over there we have, over here we actually have some testing benches.
Right.
So all of these 3 testing benches are for research institutions as well as universities who are looking to develop their own EV technologies. For example, this testing bench is primarily used for testing battery architecture, essentially battery design. How do you
Right.
stack them? How do you connect them? So it will help you. It will help the students learn
Right.
how to wire each individual cells correctly for the maximum output. This one will be primarily to test prototypes for motors,
Okay.
each electrical motors, and it would return various scientific data for research as well as for prototype building purposes. That one over there is for testing technologies for charging stations.
Right.
This one is very cool. This one is the hybrid dynamic display system of a BYD hybrid. So essentially, if you have like a BYD hybrid vehicle, if you took it apart, strip it down, its core components are all right here.
Right.
Because it's a hybrid, that's why it has a 4-piston cylinder systems to power the engine as well. But the really juicy and interesting part.
And this is a plug-in hybrid?
Yes, this is a plug-in hybrid. And the real interesting part about this BYD vehicles is its legendary blade battery, which is pioneered by BYD. Right. This is a first generation blade battery launched in 2020. It's a lithium iron phosphate battery, and it has an energy density of around 130 to 140 kilowatt per kilogram. And the good thing about lithium iron phosphate battery is that they're much cheaper than the nickel magnesium cobalt batteries that you see in a Tesla. And secondly, they have a pretty good life cycle. And thirdly, and most importantly, they're very safe. So you can puncture it, you can punch it, you can bite it, you can do whatever you do to it, and it will not catch fire. Right. So they're very, very safe. But the downside of lithium iron phosphate battery is that they are very sensitive to temperature, particularly cold temperature. So if it's like minus 20 degrees Celsius, they would lose a lot of charge. This is why BYD has also pioneered a very advanced battery management system to keep the battery comfortable so that it can have the best performance possible. And we are very happy to share with the rest of the world that BYD just last week has announced their second generation blade battery after 6 years. It's a major breakthrough in battery chemistry, battery architecture, as well as a battery management system. The second generation batteries are a little bit shorter, and it's white. And the second generation blade battery has about 5% higher energy density than the first generation lithium iron phosphate batteries. But the second generation battery can support super high voltage charging, megawatt charging, that's what we call it. Okay. So you can charge the second generation blade battery from 10% to 97% in around 9 minutes. And even in very cold climates, like in minus 20 degrees Celsius, where they did the test in the northern parts of China, they charge up the second generation blade battery from 10% to 97% in just 12 minutes as well. Wow. So lithium iron phosphate batteries, the myth, the obstacle of being very sensitive to cold has actually been overcome by BYD engineers. So it's mind-blowing. Yeah, mind-blowing. And if you're anyone hoping to purchase a BYD, I highly suggest you purchase one maybe later this year, so that all of about a dozen of BYD's most popular models will have the second generation blade batteries.
Nice.
Yes.
And so in your training institute, you've got the access to these blade batteries, even the second generation one. They're going to be part of your equipment in your training institute?
Yes. Once their second generation blade batteries becomes very popular all around in China, especially in China, because it just came out last week, we'll have second generation blade batteries training platforms as well.
Amazing.
But generally speaking, they're very, very similar. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And BYD, the second generation blade battery from BYD is silver. And funny enough, Geely, which is a big competitor of BYD, they also have a blade battery that external is gold. Okay. and their blade batteries are also very nice too.
Right, yes. Right. But I think this blade battery technology is BYD's patented technology, if I'm not wrong?
Oh yes, yes. And it's a very, very nice technology because as you can see from the Tesla battery benches that we saw, most of them, those are nickel magnesium cobalt batteries. So they are made like little cylinders. The ones that we had at the bench is actually an older form of nickel magnesium cobalt batteries. Right now, the new Tesla batteries are about this thick. So it's a little bit greener, it's a little bit bigger as well.
Right. Yeah. So in China, when it comes to training the engineers specifically on electric vehicle charging technology, batteries, the complete what do you say, all the components in the EV, are the institutes pushing these kind of courses from their end, or are the students showing interest by themselves, or are the engineers who are already working with the OEMs or with the vehicle manufacturers, the OEMs are sending them for training? So what is the scenario in China? How is it functioning?
That's a wonderful question. From our experience at Beifang, we feel like I think it's mostly market driven. Because at Beifang, all of our training platforms are made from OEM gears. They're all made from real cars. And we also want to ensure that our students, after they graduate, they can start fixing real cars immediately. This is why sometimes all of the platforms that you see here at Beifang, they're made from some of the most popular, best-selling EVs that are on the market right now. So for example, when the second generation Blade batteries become the top seller in Chinese market, we'll have those platforms as well. And that's where the most of the students want to learn, because they want to get real skills at Beifang. Afterwards, they can go apply for BYD and Geely, and they would say, oh, I know exactly how to fix the second generation Blade battery because I learned them from the real things at Beifang.
Right. I believe the whole setup in your institute is majorly based on the vehicles which are running in Chinese market, in China, right?
Yes.
Yeah, major focus is that. But let's say in different parts of the world, the vehicles are going to be different in terms of design, in terms of technology, power, everything.
Configurations, everything.
Right.
Yes.
So, since you have a plan to go global with your products and services, how easy is it to be flexible enough to have a customized teaching or test bench or whatever you call it?
Oh yes.
How easy or difficult is it?
Oh, it's actually it might be very difficult for some other vocational training institution, but for Beifang it's actually quite easy. For example, in China, we have one of the BYD's most best-selling compact-sized SUV is called BYD Yuan. Overseas, it's known as BYD Auto 3. And it's a very famous vehicle. It's actually one of the best-selling compact-sized SUV in Vietnam, in Indonesia, as well as in parts of the Middle East as well. And it's a little bit different than the BYD Yuan, but we also have BYD Auto 3. So if you train with Beifang on the BYD Auto 3 platforms, you can easily fix similar cars at your home countries. And the BYD Auto 3 recently got a lot of good publicity because due to the conflict in Iran, one of the BYD Auto 3 was struck by the Iranian missile and it survived. So we actually have a lot of students very recently asking us, how do I fix a BYD Auto 3? Where can I buy them? So for a lot of our platforms, we actually do customize them for the needs of our clients. But at the same time, we also train on a lot of these platforms that are most popular overseas. For example, that's why we have a lot of Tesla platforms, because Tesla Model 3, Model Ys, they're very popular all around the world. BYD Auto 3, very popular around the world, as well as the Geely EV 450, which are also very popular around the world as well. So wherever the Chinese automakers go, we tend to follow.
Right. Yeah. And what all countries are you eventually focusing on in terms of training their manpower and also setting up, let's say, an institute like this in those countries? So do you have any roadmap for the coming future? What all countries you're planning to focus on?
Oh yes, that's a very good question. Right now, Beifang has Beifang services and products have reached over 100 countries around the world, mostly in Southeast Asia, Central Asia, the Middle East, North Africa, and Latin America. And some universities, for example, like the University of Ushuaia from Indonesia, Irison from Morocco, as well as the University of Querétaro in Mexico. They really want to beef up their own auto education talent training capacity, particularly for the electromobility solutions. So the local universities or the local government, they will actually want to have like a big training center. About some of them are around the range of 5,000 square meters. And they would say, oh, we have the training center, we have the land, we have the building, as well as we have the staff. We just want Beifang's products, courses, teaching hardware, software, textbooks, and everything to fill it in. Because at Beifang, we uphold a philosophy known as plug and teach. We want our clients overseas who are hoping to have a similar center like you mentioned to immediately have that center. So we will train some of their trainers. We will provide them with the hardware, and we can also provide them with the course materials in their language as well. So this is why some of our courses, we have translated them into English, Indonesian Bahasa, we're also translating them into Spanish, Arabic, as well as French in the future as well, so that they can have all of the training materials ready for their training center if needed. But we also know, in terms of timeline, we also know that building a flagship training center in a particular country is very important for their auto industry as well as their auto aftermarket service industry. But we also know that these types of projects are very, very big, and they need to secure the funding either through public-private partnership or from government grants. So anything that involves a lot of big money tends to take a little bit longer than time. Yeah. In China, everything moves a little bit fast, but in India, everything moves very fast as well. So it could be something that we can do. Yeah.
Amazing. So thanks a lot for your time. It was great interacting with you.
Thank you. It's a great honor talking to you as well. Thank you.